I truly believe that social media is the future of marketing for real estate and everything. So if you're not on social media and you're not marketing yourself on social media, you're going to miss out. You're going to end up having to pay a lot more money to get yourself out there, to get in front of people, to get new clients.
Because the management and transparency is what's very important. So once you submit a referral, you're going to have your own Home Advantage account, and it's going to tell you where everything sits. So if you have 10 referrals that you've sent into the network, it's going to give you all 10 referrals. It's going to tell you every milestone that that client is sitting in, whether they're touring homes, whether they're in escrow. And you now can manage through the Home Advantage application as far as what your pipeline looks like for the referrals that you've sent. And so it's pretty sophisticated, and it's all click of a button, guys.
But welcome everybody as you guys are coming in. I know we're live on Facebook as well with LabCoatAgents. I'm Trenton here with LabCoat, and we got Gus Castro, Director of Power ISA, and we got Josh Dobson, who's a mortgage expert and here to show us his best tips on how he generated 200 deals from TikTok in just the past 12 months. And keep in mind, those are organic deals, not necessarily any paid ads or anything. So this is exciting. He's going to share with us some tips on how to maximize his efforts on TikTok, how to generate leads, and what his process is for these videos. So we're very excited to have both of you guys here. Gus, take it away.
Awesome. So thank you so much, Trenton. And, you know, it's going to be a real treat for folks. And I think we all in real estate, whether you're in the mortgage space, real estate space, on the agent side, we hear a lot about TikTok, right? There's a lot of things being said. There's a lot of information, a lot of misinformation, disinformation, but people are aware. Generally, you're aware of TikTok on the platform. I don't think people consider it a lead generation platform. I don't think people consider it like a real channel you can drive and grow your business with. I think you do that to your own detriment, right? But a lot of times people are saying, because I posted about this talk, I posted about it, and I got the comments you would expect. Oh, I'll go on TikTok when I want to get, you know, teenagers as my clients, and I'll nurture them. This is a real comment I got. I'll nurture them for 8 years, and maybe it'll work out, right? So that's the typical response when people talk about TikTok, which I think it's so important to talk to someone like Josh, who, you know, is in the mortgage side, not looking for dancing teenagers to work with, but looking for qualified buyers, right? And people to take on that journey. And we're not talking about the teenage population. We're talking about the 30 to 40-year-old demographic. They have arrived on this platform, right? So I want to bring in a practitioner. I don't want opinions, right, on these kind of talks. People join LabCoatAgents because they want to see practitioners that are great at their craft, that they're great at what they do. So welcome, Josh, to this talk. Josh, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself so people can understand kind of where you're coming from? And we can ease into the first question, which is, why TikTok? Go for it, Josh.
Thanks, Gus. So Josh Dobson, been in the mortgage space, doing lending for about 20 years. I think Gus and I had this conversation last time we talked about it. Up until about 12 to 14 months ago, I did the old song and dance that every lender does, which is I chased after real estate agents trying to build referral partners, my sphere of influence, past clients. That's how I built my business. Was a top producing loan officer for many, many years. It was kind of hard not to the last couple of years. But as we saw the market start to shift, I looked at it as an opportunity to maybe change where I was in the funnel. So we talk about lead generation and building our business. Where in the process are we getting our clients? I was tired of being the one who was waiting for the real estate agents to refer over to me. I wanted to go after and actively chase and get clients who hadn't been approached by a real estate agent, or who haven't started looking at real estate, or who actually haven't even started the process of getting pre-approved. So we looked at it as an opportunity, right? So people go to social media to learn. That is the new place where people are searching for things, where they're trying to educate themselves. So for us, it was, we felt it was a great opportunity for us to kind of leverage that piece of it. So we started creating edutainment, education that's entertaining. And that was where we found our niche with this. Obviously, we started on Instagram, Facebook, doing some of the stuff there. But as we noticed, TikTok, yes, right. When it initially came out, the joke was it's trending dances, songs, people doing silly stuff, short little 7-second videos that weren't worth your time unless you wanted to get entertained. There was no education. But as the app evolved, more and more people were getting into it. They were adding education. They were adding information that people didn't necessarily get somewhere else. And what you saw is an uptick in other people who are going to there using the search bar to search for different things that they wanted to learn about. So we started creating content centered around educating people on the process, how to become a homeowner, what it takes to become a homeowner, dispelling myths about becoming a homeowner, right? Because there's a lot of misinformation out there. I'm sure a lot of you are used to it. You get clients who have been told they can't qualify for a house because they don't have a 640 credit score. Well, that's because you talked to the wrong lender, right? So instead of focusing our content on kind of what we do as a lender, so what our guidelines are and what our overlays are, we focused on what actually is there for every lender. Whether we can do it or not, we're going to educate you on what your options are, what you can afford, what you can qualify for, and how to qualify for it. But then the next piece of it is we've added another piece where we are actually giving people the opportunity who may not feel like they can qualify or are afraid that they don't qualify, because there's a lot of paralysis by analysis. People are analyzing their own credit because they have their Credit Karma app. They have their Credit One giving them what their credit score is. And they're looking at it going, geez, my credit score is too low. There's nobody that will ever lend me money. And the problem is that that's also misinformation because that's not their actual mortgage FICO score. So we're trying to take that opportunity to educate that as well. But in that, we're also telling people, look, we're not going to turn you down. We're going to give you the ability to learn where you're at, what you need to do to get where you need to get to be able to become a homeowner. So one of the things that we've focused on, and I think this is where a lot of people miss the boat, we're not selling. We're not asking for people to apply with us. We're simply educating. So we give. And as long as you're giving, people are going to absorb that and then reach out to you for information. When they reach out for you for information, that's your opportunity to become the trusted advisor who then they turn to for whatever it is that you're selling. So if you're selling real estate, if you're the person that's answering their questions because they were unsure about something, you become that person's trusted advisor. So you're building trust. And I think that's where this is a lot different than a lot of the other consumer direct type models in the past and in the top of the funnel. A lot of top of the funnel is advertising, right? You're just putting it out there that we have the best possible rates and we do all this and yada, yada, yada. And everybody's really excited about it. And so, you get the interest rate shoppers, you get the people who already know they qualify and they're just looking for the best possible deal. The difference is these people are learning from us. They're becoming educated. They feel like they know who you are, especially on TikTok, because, we do, right. We'll set this one up too, right? So we don't just do talking head videos is what we call them, right? The educational. We do the trending audios. We do the dancing. We still do the fun stuff again, because you got to be able to entertain them. Because unless you're a Matt Rife or Bert Kreischer, you're not going to get on TikTok and get a huge following. You have to be able to give them some sort of entertainment so they'll follow you. And that following then shows and justifies your presence as an expert. And so as you grow your following, because you're giving them education and entertainment, then people start to look at you as like, oh, wait, this guy must know what he's talking about. All these people are following him. And that's how we've kind of grown our business.
I love that, Josh. And Josh, in the chat, can you drop your TikTok handle for folks?
Yeah, so we're everywhere you want to find us on social media. It's at Mortgage Data 3.
Mortgage Dad of 3.
Yep.
Mortgage Dad of 3. So that's a great handle, by the way. So I love that.
Thank you.
It's very descriptive. It doesn't just talk to you about, it's not a company name. It's not a slogan. It's like, hey, this is who I am, right? So I think
that's the other piece about it, right? Because people don't want just some mortgage professional. they want to get to know who you are personally. So, you know, I think a lot of us have heard how to kind of foster relationships on social media. You know, you want to give them some personal, you want to give them some business. So when we were talking about who we were going to be on social media and how we were going to build the persona, it was important that we gave them a piece of who I am, right? So I'm a father of 3 children, and that is my life outside of work. And obviously I spend a lot of time with work-life balance because that's important to me. So it was really important that we got that across in who we are on social media.
Yeah, and I love that. So, and Josh, before we get, I want to ask you about the process. I want to ask you about the how, but let's jump into what people can get people excited, right? So what have been, you've been doing this for the last, year and a half. What have been your results, right? What have been the results that you've gotten for yourself or the company? How have you measured that? What have been the tangible results of this? Because people are more willing to, put in the work, put in the process when you say, hey, this can be something you can aspire to. How would you describe the results you've gotten from TikTok?
So it's been pretty amazing, right? So like I said, I was a top producing loan officer prior to doing this. So we were doing 250 to 300 transactions a year. And I mean, it was pretty easy to do because interest rates were so low and we knew it was going to get a little bit tougher. We've basically completely supplemented what was so easy shooting fish in a barrel with our social media. So we're still able to do the 20 to 25 transactions a month just from social media alone. To give you some tangible numbers, TikTok alone, over the last 12 months, we've done 8,000 applications. So those are people who have actually supplied their social security number, date of birth.
Inbound. They're coming to you. They're coming to you.
Done the soft credit pull, supplied their income and asset documentation to get pre-approved.
Wow.
So 8,000 of those. And I think we've done somewhere around 14,000 total leads.
Wow.
And obviously that's been a little bit overwhelming. So when we first did this, we had our first viral video happen. I was actually going to vacation in Hawaii. Didn't realize it was going to happen. It happened overnight. You hear it, it does, right? So we spent all this time. And the next thing you know, I got a viral video. I was in Hawaii. We had inbound DMs. We had inbound text messages. We had inbound emails. We had people filling out our lead funnels to the point where there was just not enough time in the day to get through all of them, right? And that's kind of how it started. So we've had to build out different processes and systems to be able to help automate some of it to make sure that, because again, you're online, right? Your social media, people are looking at this and there are people who are going to reach out to you. And if they don't hear back from you, they're going to call you out. They're going to blast you on social media and you're going to be known as the person who doesn't respond to people and their questions. So we've done everything we can to try to automate as much of it as possible so that at least they're getting it connected with us. And if they choose to respond back, obviously that's when a live person is going to take over. But we are automating as much of this as we can because again, it's important to continue the process with them and keep them engaged because that's what they're asking for.
Yeah, 100%. I love that. So, and tell us about, because that's what you got. But at the beginning, right? You're not going to get that result right away.
No,
right?
no,
I think
no.
that's a big thing. What was the beginning like? How, because one of your videos went viral and things took off like a rocket ship. How was that video number 3? Was that video number 300? How does it start? Because I think that's where a lot of people in this audience are. Like they either haven't been to the platform, they're not native to the platform. It might be a little bit weird to them, foreign to them at first. What does that process look like before you can start expecting people to start reaching out? If you were starting right now, like let's say, this is the summer of 2023, what would that process to get started look like?
So yeah, that's a great question. So like I said, we started long before. I mean, we were doing that hit or miss, posting videos once in a while. Every so often we would do a carousel, do things like that, but we weren't consistent. So we didn't start getting consistent with our content and what we were posting and getting intentional about it until about 12 months ago. And it took probably about 2 to 3 months on TikTok. You have to understand when we chose to go to TikTok, I was following a lot of people and trying to understand the dynamics of it. And at that point in time, we knew we had 6 months left on TikTok where it was going to be easier to get organic growth because the platform hadn't got to the point where all the other platforms had already done, right? So if you remember Facebook, Instagram, they were all platforms where you could go gain a ton of followers really fast
organically,
at the beginning,
organically.
Right? Yeah. And then eventually the app looks at it and says, oh, wait, we can monetize this. So we're going to pull back on the algorithm. We're not going to help people as much, get as much outreach, and we're going to have them pay to get as much outreach as they would have had they started earlier with us. So the math on it, right? The people that the experts who have done this on multiple different channels said we had 6 months left on TikTok. So I knew I had 6 months to do as much as I could to try to get as much as I could as far as a following and get this grown. So we were very intentional. That was where we focused all of our energy, was on TikTok. We were posting videos consistently. We were doing 3 to 4 videos a day. And that's kind of how it worked. It was probably 2 months into the process of doing that before we had that viral video. Because again, it's not as simple as just saying, hey, I'm going to post and it's going to work, right? You have to find what works. So, whether it's the trending audio, whether it's the whatever trend you're doing, whether it's what you're talking about, there's all kinds of different things in the messaging. There's just stuff that you have to test. So you have to be willing to do things multiple times, just tweaking something. So you'll see a lot of people will talk to you when they're talking about content creators. We'll take the same video and we'll edit it 3 different ways. And we'll post them differently, different times, but we'll post them, all 3 of them. It's the same video. We just re-edited, did something different. We changed the audio on it, and one will go viral and one won't. And that's just kind of how it works. You just have to test and be careful. I saw there was a question down in the Q&A and they asked if the 6 months was over. It is.
Is it, the 6 months over? Is there no point? Have they missed the boat on TikTok? Is the TikTok boat sailed maybe?
No. So the 6 months was just more of getting that organic reach and really hyper pushing it forward. But I can tell you, you can have the same amount of success, right? So Instagram, which is our other social media platform that we do a lot on. We were past the game. Like, they had already gone to the point where you had to pay to get followers and get the reach in Instagram. You were literally just getting your sphere of influence. But we started that about the same time we did TikTok. But we're at 116,000 followers on Instagram. So we were able to build reputation and everything through there a little bit faster and a little bit bigger than TikTok, but we haven't got as much of the leads from Instagram as we have TikTok. But we were still able to grow our channel on Instagram even after the point where you have to do some of the paid to get the reach.
And one thing I've noticed, Josh, I don't know if you agree with this or not. I think that Facebook, like Meta, like Facebook and Instagram, have cranked up their organic reach in response to TikTok on their short form product, right? On Reels, talking about Reels. Because after we spoke, I went all in on this short form. I went from posting occasionally to 2 to 3 videos a day, just so you know. And on Meta, on Facebook and Instagram is where I have most of my audience. I'm just getting started on TikTok, but my engagement, again, this is less than a month in. So, this is a little bit different, but going all in, I've gotten more engagement in this last 3 weeks than the rest of my videos and content all year. Okay. And the part that I like is that it's showing it to my audience, right? It's people have started, it took a couple of weeks. Now people are commenting on my videos. They're liking my videos. They're sharing my videos. I haven't had a 1 million view video, I'm not gonna lie. But it's a leading indicator. The engagement, even on Facebook, which is way beyond the monetization phase, probably 10 years into the monetization phase at this point. Even on Facebook, it would have been great. It would have been amazing to start on doing this on Facebook a decade ago. The next best time is tomorrow, right? To do this. So they're responding to TikTok. They're competing with TikTok. So they've really cranked up that organic reach.
Yeah. And I mean, you're going to see that on every single platform. I mean, YouTube, 100%. The long form content's great. And that's where their bread and butter is. But they're pushing shorts. They're trying to get more short form content. That's what's increasing your engagement on YouTube. Facebook, really pushing out the reels. And obviously Instagram, you hear back and forth whether they're going back to the old posting pictures or videos. There you have to be a little bit more consistent with all of the different aspects of Instagram. You can't just do reels. You're going to have to do the pictures and the carousels and all the other fun stuff that they do, because I think there's 4 different algorithms for that, and reach and content. But like you said, and I think you touched on it, and I don't know if you know this, but you got consistent. When you got consistent posting videos, the algorithm noticed that you were providing content, and that content should be pushed out. So it's rewarding you for being active and putting stuff out there because that's what it's intended to do. So at the end of the day, you just got to hit record. You got to get consistent. You got to post a bunch of content. But I think the other piece about this, and I think some people miss this, right? They get on there and they just start talking. And again, like I said, if you're not a stand-up comedian, it's not entertaining, right? And if you're not entertaining, people aren't going to sit there and watch your video. So don't make a 1-minute video of you sitting there talking and not having some of the tricks, right?
This is the current, like
that stuff's not gonna, that's
like,
not gonna get you engagement, and it's not gonna get you watched. So it's really important that you understand some of the dynamics. It's important to edit. You really want to cut out some of the uhs and the pauses. If you notice, a lot of my videos are very choppy, but that's because it visually keeps you engaged. It doesn't have pauses, so the content's continuously flowing. People will watch it. They're more readily going to watch it. So we are constantly changing how we're doing things, but we're trying to keep it entertaining and moving forward. And that's really important too with your videos.
I love it. And Josh, and be honest here, be honest. I think a lot of people find this challenging because they're not native to the platform. Okay. I'm telling you from my own experience, it's a lot of work, right? So you got to put in some work, you got to study. Like, you've been a great inspiration for me, other folks in this space, the kind of content, the way your videos are created. And I've been really amazed at the tools the app has to edit these videos. I'm like, holy cow, they really want you to do everything in the app. They really want you to try and do everything there because they've got really, honestly, very good editing tools, all these filters and all of these effects. And
you don't have to be an expert because most of these apps are going to give you everything you need to do to.
I thought I thought when I saw a green screen video on YouTube, I thought you needed a green screen behind you. Just being super real here. Like, I'm an older millennial. So I'm dating myself. I thought you needed a green screen. No, man, it's a button on the app.
Yep.
Boom, green screen effect. And you've got that kind of information behind you. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, get on the app and you'll realize in about 5 minutes that is. And another thing I did was I educated the app to show me real estate content. That's another big thing, right? Because absolutely, there's all kinds of content on there. It's crazy. If you start liking and following people that are in this space, it'll only feed you that. Right. Yep. That's what you're going to see. That's what
you can train the algorithm to show you what you want to do. So if you're only seeing dancing kids on your social media platform, there's a problem. It's not the algorithm. It's you.
100%. Absolutely 100%. So, but let's talk about that content creation piece a little bit, Josh. What does your content creation process look like? Because some people can listen to that saying, I want to release 3 videos a day. And it's like, oh my God,
it's overwhelming. There's a lot of fear, right?
Right. There's a lot of it. What does your process look like right now? And what did it look like kind of earlier on so people can understand what does it take to generate 3 videos a day? What does it take to generate 1 video a day? What does that look like?
So first, it really comes down to getting organized. I think you had asked me if I was going to have a giveaway, and I'm going to provide you guys our content calendar. It's a 365-day calendar.
We have a freebie for you guys. You got to wait until the end, though. We'll give out some instructions on how to get this, but you got to wait. We'll talk more about that at the end. That's a great one. So you're going to give away your content calendar. I love it.
Right. So what this does is this gives us the ability to kind of hyper focus on what we want to do, giving us micros and macros, and it basically pulls in all the information we need to figure out what videos we're going to post on what day. So it gives you 1 video a day. Now you can multiply that times 3 by just doing it a little bit extra. So for us, originally, the idea behind how we figured out our content was a lot of studying. So we were on social media following some of our other mortgage influencers on there that we saw having some success. So we were following them, we were watching their videos, kind of looking to see where they were getting their engagement, and we would mimic the video. I mean, obviously we wouldn't copy it completely. We would mimic it. We would do something similar. We would try to, there's different types of videos to post. So you have to understand that, right? So there's talking head videos, there's trending audio videos, there's trending sound videos, there's trending dances or trends that, there's so many different things you can do. So you really have to understand who you want to focus your energies on. So each platform is different. There's different different demographics on each app. So I was actually just talking to this earlier on with Jake. So on TikTok, what we've noticed is that it's typically 25 to 35-year-olds. that we get engagement from, that we get applications from. Instagram's usually 35 to 45, and then Facebook's 45 and plus. And that's just statistically, that's how it's played out. So
because accurate to me,
right? Because so we get data bursts. So what we've done is we've tailored our content to make sure that the videos are in line with what that demographic is wanting, what their pain points are. Because again, at the end of the day, the best way to be a trusted advisor is to help those people solve their pain points. So again, you look at it, home affordability is a huge issue right now for the 25 to 35 and even up to 45-year-olds. So that's a pain point that we try to help them solve, whether it's different programs or whatever it is, right? So a lot of our content strategy is based on solving pain points for those demographics. And then obviously news, when there's news things coming up, green screen's huge. A lot of the platforms are pushing green screen content. So we go find articles, we'll put those up on green screen behind us. We'll speak to them. We'll give our spin on it. But again, we're trying to be educational, but also entertaining. So, we'll throw in stuff that's a little bit entertaining. But at the end of the day, our strategy was first we started mimicking, kind of copying. Now we know the types of videos to do. Once we knew what they are, now we can use the content calendar to say, okay, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it. This is the type of video we want to put that in and post it.
I think it's really good to understand the demographic part of it though, too, because you're not just replicating content from TikTok to Instagram to Facebook, because your audience is going to be different. So you really want to focus kind of on, if you're mentioning 25 to 35-year-olds, that's probably of the affordability factor. That's the first time home buyer factor. On Facebook or even Instagram with a 35 to 45, you're looking at maybe, are you looking to move up? Are you looking to increase, going for that condo into a home, you're ready to start that family, maybe once you hit the Facebook, that's where you want to look at, are you looking to downsize? Are you still looking to retirement possibly, just making sure that you're understanding the demographics so that your content resonates with that audience as well. And I think that's a big factor there.
Yep. Spot on.
Yeah, 100%. I love that, and selfish question here. I think, because I'm not just the host of this show. I'm a content creator that's learning from Josh. So I'm a step ahead of you guys. Don't think I'm that far ahead. Josh's probably way ahead of all of us, but I'm only a step ahead of you folks. So what do you recommend when someone is trying? Because right now I'm creating short form, right? I'm creating short form because I do a lot of long form. I really like this format. This is the format that kind of, you got to find your voice, right? You got to find what format fits you better. But I realized that this long form is 10 to 15 short forms, right? In the talk like this, and I'm going to grab this video and I'm going to create that. This is going to happen.
Don't worry, I'm recording it too.
100%, right? We're going to use this because guess what, right? In a 45-minute chat, there's not 45
stuff comes
minutes
up. There's gems, right? You want to drop that. You want people to know, right?
Yeah, of drop the mic content. There's not 45 minutes of drop the mic content. There's about 10 to 50 clips that are really good, like really good. And you can use that to entice people to either look at the long form, which is what I like to do, or get them to do something else, right? So that's kind of my process right now. I take my long form, which is my strength, and I have a process around and what I like to do. And I'm converting that into short form and I'm putting it everywhere, right? I'm putting it on whatever plot, and they all have this, by the way, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I'm putting this short form out there everywhere. But I'm also, I try this another thing, and I want your opinion on this, Josh, selfishly, I also creating native content on the app, okay? And it really likes that native content. It really likes that. And it's even telling me, hey, can you make a minute of videos that are more than a minute? We really, literally a little pop-up said, you can make videos of above a minute. Did you know that? Why don't you try that? Hit that 10-minute option and just go for it, right? Which I thought was really interesting because that's my strength. I like longer form stuff because, and people haven't noticed yet, I like talking out of my elbows, right? I can talk a lot, but I want to keep it succinct with TikTok, right? But they're asking for more.
And that's my point, right? So we were just talking about that. So like you said, a good strategy, and a lot of people for their content creator strategy is doing long form and then splicing it up into smaller content. So you can do 7-second videos, you can do 15-second videos, you can do 30-second videos, you can do a minute video. So a lot of the platforms now are pushing longer content, and I say longer, but I don't mean 10, 15 minutes. We're talking 1 minute, right? So a lot of the platforms want 1 minute plus type content. So again, we talked about it, right? So if you do long form content and you're cutting it down to small short form content, that's talkie heads, right? So you're just sitting there talking. That's the kind of content that you're going to put out there if you're doing that, but you got to mix in the rest of the stuff.
Yeah.
So you got to have the 7-second trending stuff. You got to have the call to actions. You've got to have the different aspects of it. You know, and it's crazy, right? So we spend a lot of time researching this. So we spend a lot of time talking to people. Before we hopped on this call, I was talking with somebody that I respect a great deal because he's built a automated system for his content creation, which he puts out a ton of content. But he goes with the long form content broken down into small form content. He uses an app called Airtable, where he can have an entire project management. They can run through all the videos and it gets posted for him. He has all the analytics there. It's amazing. And so I'm trying to learn from him on how to do that, because that's part of scaling what we do. I truly believe that social media is the future of marketing for real estate and everything. So if you're not on social media and you're not marketing yourself on social media, you're going to miss out. You're going to end up having to pay a lot more money to get yourself out there, to get in front of people, to get new clients, because Zillow's going to go to the wayside. A lot of the big corporations who like to advertise are going to go to the wayside because nobody's watching advertising anymore. They're going onto social media to watch where they get their information, where they get their news, where they get their education. So if you're not there, you're going to have to pay heftily to be able to get there eventually. So you better start now.
Let's also
100%.
keep in mind that, you know, the top 4 or 5 visited websites in the world are social media. You know, outside of Google being number 1, it's like you got to make sure you're there. And then I know that TikTok continues to rise on that list as well, as far as, you know, visitors around the world too. So, you know, making sure that you're relevant where your customers are, that's kind of the main thing there.
Yep.
We also have a question is, what is native content? Since you guys were talking about that, can you go a little bit more into depth into that?
Gus, do you want to answer?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So I'll jump in because
hey, you're the moderator. I'm just here to add what I can.
I'm living this right now. So what I mean by native content is that, you know, when I do a long form like this is being recorded within Zoom or being recorded live on the Facebook group. You download that big file, you chop it up, and you upload that chopped up file into the app. You can upload videos, right? That's what I refer to as like repurposed, chopped up content. When we talk about native content, is you bust out the phone, right, and record it right then and there within the app, right? And then you edit it and you do everything within the app versus doing everything like pre-production, post-production, make it nice, add the subtitles, the captions, everything outside, and then you just straight up upload it. That's the difference of what I mean. The apps really like that native content, and they try to do a lot of things to get you to do everything there. But like Josh has said, right? I mean, you can do both. You should do both. You should do both because I think you're gonna win with that. And I'm seeing it myself. Like my biggest hits on TikTok are native videos. And again, everything gets engagement, but it's, you know, again, 1 month thing, right? Take that with a grain of salt. It's liking that green screen, or the audience is liking that green screen, the sounds. Things you can only do natively within the app, right? And I'm guessing there's more to it than that. It must be a technical explanation. They get to see what you're doing. They get that maybe you're using native captions. They like that. I'm not sure, but that's what we mean. That you're recording it and editing it within the application versus doing it outside and just uploading the finished video directly.
I can tell you exactly why they do it, right? So the apps don't want you to leave the app. They want you on the app to get all of your information, to do everything. 100%. So you will notice on TikTok, and this is something you have to understand as a business person, you cannot put a link in your TikTok to go off site. They will not let you put in the comments or in the captions any sort of link, and it will not link outside of the app because they don't want you force people outside of the application itself. The only link you're allowed to put on TikTok is in your profile once you have 1,000 followers. And so that's your one opportunity to push them off the app itself. But again, like you said, Gus, they're rewarding people who are spending all of their time on the app. So if you are making your content on the app and you are editing it and uploading it in the app, they will reward you because they want you to keep doing that.
Okay, I love that. And a couple of rapid fire questions here, Josh. So equipment, because I get that question a lot, right? And if you're seeing this, you can only tell I don't have like the nice
analysis
4K,
or paralysis by analysis, my friend.
100%. Like, oh, do I need to get I don't have it. I've got natural light in here. This is my crappy, laptop webcam. And I mean, Josh, do you need anything to get started?
You need a phone.
The app and the phone? That's
it.
You
need
right?
a phone, a mic, and if you don't want to buy any more, you can do natural light, going outside or being around a natural light window, but a ring light. So our basic strategy is we have a Rode microphone. We have our iPhone 14, I think. And we have several ring lights that we throw around. We have some softbox lights. I mean, we've kind of grown it because we're getting ready to start a podcast and start doing that. So we have a lot of extra stuff, but literally when we started, it was an iPhone, a mic. You don't even have to do the Rode mic. There's some of the even nicer wireless microphones that are really cheap. And then a ring light. And that's literally all you need to be able to start creating short form content on social media.
I love that.
And I mean, don't get me wrong. Right now, this camera that I'm using, the quality is there because I'm not using my webcam. I've actually plugged in my iPhone to my laptop to be able to do the video on this. Yeah,
I love that. Yeah, and that's such a great point because you're right. Whenever I hear a question like that, what's a mic? It's an excuse. For me, it's like a reason not to get started. Oh, let me put $10,000 into equipment, then I'll be able to get started.
And then you have all that equipment, you never use it.
100%. And I see people going down that path very easily. What's the laptop and what's the camera and that's external Nikon? No.
It's like just pick up your phone and go.
Yeah.
Put up your phone and go. Get on the platform. Follow Josh and see what else the platform suggests. Educate yourself. Become more of a native. You're not going to be fully native. More of a native on the platform and start seeing what works and what doesn't work.
Well, and I think I want to add something.
Phone, right?
Yeah, I want to add something to that, Gus. Right. So this is about community. So if you're planning on starting and getting on the platforms, follow people, find people on social media that you like their content, that you like what they do, you like their messaging, you like the videos that they're doing, and watch them. Go out, find them, follow them, watch the videos, comment. Do things like that. I mean, because that's the other piece about this is that I think the other piece that people miss is they're just posting content and they're expecting results without doing anything else. You can't just post a video 3 times a day for 6 months and expect results because, again, the platform wants you in the app. So if you're posting videos, you're on the app for 20 minutes, right? So you recorded it, you edited it, you posted 20 minutes, you're off. If you do that, the app's not going to reward you. The app wants to reward you for being on the app. So the other time is once you've done that, you got to spend some time on the app engaging other people. When you're engaging other people, you're getting them to see who you are and they're checking you out going, oh, who's this person? They made a great point in the comments or they made a great point in my video. Right. So I'm going to go over here and look at their profile. Oh, here's their profile. Oh, they have some really cool videos. Then they start commenting back. So it's building a community. And I'll be honest with you. I have a ton of friends on social media. We do Wednesday lives on TikTok and I pull in different people from different places in the United States. We have conversations just like this. And we're trying to build a community because at the end of the day, that community is what's going to keep you on the platform, engaging the platform, and the platform's going to reward you for that, pushing your content out to people who may not be engaging or you're not engaging because you're not watching their videos because they might not even be posting videos. But because you're being rewarded by the app and the app's pushing your content out, those people are going to see your videos and are going to engage.
I love that. And we're almost out of time here, Josh, but I want to ask you, I haven't seen this question here, but I get this all the time, right? Josh, have you thought about the risk of TikTok being banned in the United States? Oh my goodness. But so to go for it, what do you mean by that?
It's going to be on I'll be on every platform. Right? There's video content on every platform. Every platform wants short form content. Even if TikTok gets banned, I still have my Instagram. I still have my YouTube. I still have my Facebook. I'm still posting content there. So I think the problem some people have is they focus on one app. And if I was just focused on TikTok, yeah, I would be worried, right? But if you are giving yourself the opportunity to be on all of the platforms, at least the big four, you're going to not have to worry about that, because those people are going to leave. If it gets banned, they're going to leave that app and they're just going to go to another app, or they're already there.
The attention doesn't disappear. The attention doesn't disappear.
It's still there. Yep.
100%. And folks, I mean, look this up. You can Google it. India banned TikTok. What happened? They were schmick-talk the next 5 schmick-talks the next day, and the attention just went there, right? And but the people that know how to create that kind of content, you just go to the next thing, right? And yes, there's some work to start over, but you're going to be way ahead of someone that has not even started because of the headlines of, oh, this app is evil and it's going to get bad. So I'm not going to get into the whole political discussion, something else, but I think that's a great take, Josh. I appreciate that, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're not doing TikTok because you love TikTok. It's where people's attention is, right? Engage with people, create community, right? So I love that. So Josh, we have a giveaway. So why don't we try to do it this way? I'm gonna put out an email address. They can shoot an email, and my team can handle just making sure everyone gets it, because it's gonna be a lot of emails, right? So I don't want to burden you with that. So folks, if you want to get the free content calendar, there's 2 things you got to do. Okay, so listen up. You got to shoot an email to info@powerisa.com. info@powerisa.com with the subject line free content calendar. Okay, you got to do both of those things. Don't do one without the other. Now shoot an email. It can be blank email, info@powerisa.com, and the subject line has to include the words free content calendar, and you will get a response, and we'll include Josh's calendar in there. And Josh, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for jumping on today. If people want to continue the conversation, they have questions, they want to collab, whatever it is, what is the best way to reach out to you?
Same thing you did, my friend. Reach out to me on social media. Hit me
There
up
we
in the
go.
DMs.
There we go. I love those. Slide into those DMs and make a connection, right? So Josh, thank you so much, Trenton. Thanks everyone for joining us today. I think it's going to be I think it was a great set. This was fire. It was a great one. Sorry for starting out a little bit late. That was my fault. Everyone here was early, except me. But I think it was a great session. Appreciate everyone, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.